Your Mohawk's cool, bro. Don't worry about it. Look at that. The thing's going.
All type of days is leaning with my Mohawk sleep.
Well, we're live, man. We're live here again. Welcome everyone who's joined us. We have obviously a buddy of mine, Gerald, the great Gerald Mcrath, right here. What's happening, man? The Tennessee Titans are 5-0, man. 5-0 since 2008. Sounds good, feels good. Again, how's everything, bud? How are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm just telling you guys, like, you gotta enjoy this moment, man. Just enjoy the moment. Just enjoy the moment. I mean, 5-0. It is so hard to win games. I don't care what level you're playing on.
Definitely.
I don't care. You know, you need things to go together, come together. You know, get a little stroke of luck here and there, call or two your way. But, man, 5-0 in the National Football League, I mean, guys, just enjoy the moment.
Sorry, my lights are going crazy and shit. Sorry about that. But again,
it's 2020.
It's 2020, bro. Everything is crazy. Again, we're going to be people are going to leave chats. They're going to ask questions. We'll answer those as well as we continue this. But, again, thank you for coming on. Yet again, as you see in the back, got the jersey, and obviously I got the picture as well. Got everything tightened up. We got Gerald Mcrath. Let's do this again. People are saying tighten up. Let's go. Exactly. Tighten up. Exactly. What's up, Gerald? Look, there we go. We got people. Look, what a game to see in person. Especially seeing that game in person would probably been really, really cool. You know, I wish I could have seen it.
With limited fans. I mean, if you're going to a game, guys, and if you were thinking about, well, it's COVID, I don't want to go. Man, a team like this that is as special as it is, man, you got to see them. I can only imagine what the Derrick Henry stiff arm looked like Tuesday night in person. Like, oh, my gosh. Like, yeah, I mean, man, for those that are going out and supporting them, man, we appreciate it. I know those guys appreciate it. Just from what I'm hearing around the league from friends of mine, it is different with nobody in the stands. So, you know, those Titan fans, you guys that are going out supporting them, and hats off to you guys. Definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely, man. And again, we have Al. Al Pierce says 5-0, yes, but we've got to fix the defense. Yet they have been running down their mouths. Time to shut them up. Go Titans. Kick Pittsburgh Steelers tail Oilers struck. Yeah, man. We'll get into that as well. 94 yards. Yeah, feels so great as a Titans fan. Matt Moon. We got Hollywood Titan 5-0. Gave me it did, man. That's a typical Titans fashion though, man. Right? Yeah. You know. You think you got the game, then all of a sudden you lose again. Then the third quarter, the Titans didn't come out. They didn't play. I don't know if they forgot to play. They left in halftime. I don't know. They just looked out of sync the second half, man, right? Just coming out.
We're going to get into it when we talk some ball because I have a lot of things from the inside, you know, here. Like it's you know, but to come out with a win, guys. And you guys know I've been a part of it in the past that a game like this is we might be on the other end of the win-loss column. So
exactly.
For them to come up with a win the way that they did, I mean, golly, that's just amazing.
All right. That's what it is, man. And here's the stats. Again, the Tennessee Titans beat the Houston Texans in a shootout in overtime. Watson was 28 for 37, 335 yards, 4 touchdowns. He's a stud. Okay, don't get me wrong. I don't like him. He plays for the Texans, but you can't deny a good QB. He is a stud. Okay, David Johnson, 19 carries, 57 yards, a touchdown. Will Fuller, 6 receptions, 123 yards, 1 touchdown. You had Ryan Tannehill now. Here comes the Titans. 30 for 41, 364 yards, 4 TDs. Derrick Henry, the king, 22 carries for 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a nasty 94-yard run that he just, man, I think he broke 21 miles per hour, I think. That's That's a big man running that fast. That is scary, man. That is scary. And then you have Anthony Firtzker with 8 receptions, 113 yards with the 1 touchdown, which you did really good. And you had A.J. Brown with 2 touchdowns as well. I think he had 6 receptions. But offense came to play, you know. Defense, on the other hand, we'll talk about it. What did you see as for the Titans? What are the positives? What are the negatives? Go ahead, Gerald. The floor is yours, brother.
I mean, obviously, I think the biggest takeaway for the positives, man, they got to win. You know, got to win within 5 days of coming off. If you keep in touch with the Titans, man, they said the injury report was 2 pages long after the Bills game. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, you got some guys back. You got Big Jeff, you know, back off of COVID. You got Humphreys back in the mix off of COVID. So you got some guys back in the mix. And, you know, to see them not miss a beat was good. I think one of the biggest things that we got to stay mindful about is that coming off of last year, the biggest talk around, you know, Tennessee Titans was that, you know, you're not really replacing anybody on offense. So the cohesiveness, the camaraderie, you know, that the familiarity with the OC, and then, you know, Ryan Tannehill, the offensive line, Derrick Henry, that should have been intact. And what we're seeing is that come to fold. And you're seeing that the offense is dominating. And they are, you know, I mean, they are keeping us in games. You know, guys, just remember me a year or two ago. I mean, it was the defense. It was the other way around. Defense was keeping us in the games and things of that nature. So you lose a piece like Darrell Casey. You lose a guy like Logan Ryan in the back end. Not to mention you lose Hall of Fame coach and Dean Pease,
man,
calling plays and things of that nature. So, you know, with no true off season, no preseason games, OTAs or anything like that, and then you have 2 rookies that are playing substantial amount of time, you know, without those preseason snaps and things of that nature. Like, it is going to take some time. It is, and I thought that Tuesday showed you where you got some of those veteran guys that have to step up. You know, Malcolm Butler came out, 2 picks, and then you had the special teams talking about the Bills game. And then you come out tonight, you know, or this afternoon, where the offense kind of had to carry the load. And, you know, that's complimentary football. You know, is it perfect? No, it's not. But I'm pretty sure that Brable, being a defensive-minded guy, I'm pretty sure that he is harping on those guys. And not to mention, man, you got some leaders on that defensive side of the ball that know what it's going to take. And so, you know, I don't think this is one of those things to where, you know, the Titans themselves, the guys in the locker room were sitting there saying, man, we're 5-0, man, we're good. Like, no, I'm pretty sure you got Byard and you got Evans and Jayon Brown, and you got Jeffrey Simmons and Clowney and Butler and Dory and all those guys. They're sitting there saying, like, dude, this ain't good enough. Like, we lucked out. You know, I bet you they're going to the office and say, man, like, we appreciate y'all, you know, for picking us up. So, you know, the good thing is they came out with a win. You know, I think the tough thing in things you look at is saying, okay, hey, we gotta get some more guys healthy. Definitely. On the defensive end, and we gotta, you know, we gotta kind of get back and stay working and stay well rounded, because you're going to have another big test with Pittsburgh
Steelers. Yep. And then they look good as well. And then again, what did you think? Again, like you said, we said we were going to bring that up, was the defense, and how, I mean, the defense held their own the first half. They held the Texans to 10 points. They did really good. And then the second half, they kind of came out flat and looked like they were struggling. What did you see? And what's the mindset? Like you said you had obviously playing for the Titans. What did you see differently, and what's the mindset coming out, especially with the lead and stuff?
I think you can see some guys with a little bit of inexperience.
Okay.
You know, whether it be You got to think Christian Fulton hasn't played too much. He hasn't had too many snaps. So, you look at some times where it just seems like communication may have been off. The long pass to Fells, where he was open, Jayon got him down on the ground. That might be something that could be miscommunication. They stopped the run well, and that was the number one thing. It's always the number one thing. You stop the run, and you got to think you got a guy, David Johnson. I mean, he's not. He can if you don't do that, if you don't stop the run, I mean, he easily could go for 100 yards rushing with also like 80 to 90 yards catching. Dual threat that he offers, and so they stopped the run, and then hey, you got a guy in Watson that, I mean, he did it last week. I mean, if you pay attention, he scored 17 points in the fourth quarter against the Jags, and that game looked like that game was out. Like they were done. And so you got a new guy. Bill O'Brien's gone, so you got your interim coach, and from what I'm hearing, guys have a ton of respect for him. Ton of respect. And you can kind of see that coming off that Jacksonville game. They felt like, what, with the games that they played, the teams that they play early on, they can say, hey, you know what, we just got off to a rough start, but we still got a lot of football left in us. And Watson's that type of guy that all it takes is a momentum or a spark play. And it not only ignites the offense, but it'll ignite that whole team. And I think that's what you saw. You got the deep ball to Fuller, which we all knew coming into the game, the playmakers that they had. And you got Fuller, Cooks. Man, this was the first game that I've actually seen Cooks get off the way that he's gotten off. And I want to say that he's actually healthier. I'm not sure really, what it was that was holding back, but like, man, him in the game plan, like, I mean, they were throwing that his way. I mean, he was involved in the game. They still got Randall Cobb. I mean, they got playmakers. They got playmakers. I mean, you can't get caught up in the record, because if you look at who they played, the Baltimore Chiefs, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they had a rough start, and then now they play the Packers now, which by the way lost to the Tampa Bay. So, but yeah, they play the Packers. So it's not an easy stretch for the Texans. Do you think the Texans are done now, man?
No,
absolutely not.
No. It's and if you think that they're done, you don't know the league. Anything can happen. You know what I mean? Anything can happen at any given time, and that's why coming into this game, I'm like, man, that's a great win Tuesday. It shocked me. And to me, I'm sitting there like, man, it would not shock me if this was a close game. Would I want it to have been that close? No. no. But when you're playing a rival opponent, man, and God, somebody that knows you well, and you see them twice a year. Last year we saw them 3 times. I mean, not 3 times. We saw them twice last year, but if you catch them in the playoffs, you can see them 3 times. So, like, these games are tough, man. They're tough, and not knocking the defense or anything, but man, I'm more looking at their offense and the way that they put together a drive at the end of the game. That drive,
right?
Peyton Manning type drive. And Titan fans, you guys know we have been on the other side of that for a long time. Coming down to a last drive of the game, you gotta have it. And Tannehill just showed great leadership, great poise. That, golly, man. I mean,
he's such a nice pickup, man. He's such a good pickup. Again, it just shows you that that coaching makes a big difference. Because in Miami, because my buddy's from Miami, and he's a Dolphins fan. He's like, oh, you guys got. I remember when we got Tannehill. He's like, good luck, you guys got Tannehill. I go, I don't know, man. You never know. You get them in the right system, they could shine again, man. So again, it was awesome. Again, Ryan Tannehill was just lighting it up, and that was his team. But when it came down to crunch time, Derrick Henry.
Oh my gosh. Yes. So I think the big, and going back to the defense, like, we got to get pass rush. We got to do a little bit better, a lot better. And I think that that's where the 16 days off I think that's where that hurts, is to continue to implement. Because on the defensive side, it's always reacting. It's always reacting to what the offense does. And one of the biggest things, for me playing defense, everybody has to be in sync. Because when everybody's in sync, hey, the call may not be the greatest call, but if everybody's in sync, you still got a chance.
Yeah.
And so, that you got some young guys, and then, you don't have Adoree Jackson, which is different when you're talking about, does he change the game? No, he might not change the game, but I mean, hey, if you could put speed with speed and a more veteran guy, then that may allow you to cover up some other spots or some other holes, or maybe the coverage may be a little bit tighter that gives Clowney or the rest of those guys a
little bit more chance,
little quick for him to hold on to the ball, because the pass rush is there, like we're getting there. But I was listening to Blaine Bishop, because I love listening to him talk, and he was talking about after the game about, covering wise, sometimes it takes, sometimes a DB has to cover a little bit longer, or, sometimes in order for a sack to come, DB, we got to play tighter coverage. We can't give up windows and easy throws to give the sack some time. And then sometimes it's the other way around. Sometimes the sack has to get there to move him off his spot to help the back end. So, it's something that has to be addressed. And like I said, like this group is special, man. And I just know the leaders on that defensive side that, they got the win, but I guarantee you that defensive side, those guys are going in like, look, man, we got to clean this up. And I have all the faith that they'll get that done. But one thing you can't do is you can't teach experience, and experience that Chris Jackson and Christian Fulton are getting right now. Oh my gosh, like that! I'm just telling you, later on in the season, it's going to pay off. So we might be nervous. We're on pins and needles, or almost having a heart attack. But man, it does build confidence with these kids that, hey, look, I'm not as good, I can be better, but we got the win. And so that should just continue to drive those young guys to continue to develop and come along.
Yeah, man. Again, I was a little nervous going in the second half, like everyone in Tennessee was. But again, it's just that's the type of Titans team. It's just built. It's a different type of Titans team. We would have never gone if it was like the old school Titans. They wouldn't march down and score in the last 4 seconds of the game. Hell no. They would have ended up getting a pick, or they would have been turned it down fourth and 10 or something. They would have turned the ball over. Something would have happened. They wouldn't. But man, they commanded, and that's so much. It's so nice to see, and you can tell the coach. And it comes to Tannehill with the offense, he just knows, hey, if they give us a chance, we could score. And
without a doubt. I mean, golly, I sent a tweet out. I said,
I saw it.
I don't want to hear nothing about Derrick Henry catching the ball or him running soft anymore.
Yeah.
Because, oh my gosh, when you got to have it, and those guys stepped up the way they did. I mean, that's good ball. That's just good ball. That's good ball. And we've seen it, and I keep trying to tell people, okay, you put on the brakes with the defense just a tad bit, because we've seen our defense come up with the play that you got to have. Last year against the Chargers, and we get the fumble on the win. You know what I mean? So I mean, your defense that you got some guys on that defensive side that have been in those situations that we've seen them be successful. And you got some new guys on that group. You got some new guys on the group. You got some like I said, you don't have Dean Pease, and so sometimes that it takes a little bit. Not saying that they're doing anything different, but schematically, you're still teaching 2 more young guys how they do it here. And so sometimes it takes a little bit of a learning curve, but definitely just proud that you just continue to find a way to win in all phases of the game.
Here's a question for you, Gerald. Do you think that Mike Rabel doing some of the play calling for a defensive coordinator, is that a problem? Do you think they need to have someone, especially just doing defensive coordinator, or do you like that Mike Rabel has the hand in that?
I think I mean, to be honest with you, I think it's really about his preference and where he feels comfortable.
Okay.
Because if he feels comfortable doing that, then um, that may improve his coaching as a whole, because now he has a strong field. Because if he's going to call them, then he has to know his guys. He's got to know his guys. He's got to know his defense, and that might be something that helps him in time management and how to manage the game, because he understands, from one end, okay, hey, we gotta, we can't give them the ball back so quick. So we need to run some clock out on offense, or something like that. So, I don't see that being a problem unless that's something that, he feels is a problem. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and I think, just as we seen Coach Vrabel grow as a coach here, as far as decision making, clock management, and all of that, the same thing can happen here. So, my biggest thing is getting the guys back in the facility. Keeping first of all, keeping everybody safe, but getting back in the facility, getting back on the practice field, and getting the things corrected on the defensive side. I think that is the biggest piece.
Biggest key.
They have not had that, and like I said at the beginning, coming in this year, all the talk was, "Hey, we're bringing our offense back." So we're seeing that, we're seeing them excel, and then we're seeing, okay, hey, we're adding some new pieces in. Ray is now gone. You got Vic Beasley. We signed in off a free agent who wasn't here, from get go for whatever reasons may be. Clowney didn't come until the week before, so like it is going to take some time to continue to iron out the communication part and the execution part, but they have gotten better week to week. So it's not one of those things of, can they do it? I mean, they did it last week. Butler had 2 picks. I thought the D, and he only gave up 16 points. And you're talking about a Bills team that, I mean, I watched the Bills. Stephon Diggs is phenomenal.
Yep.
Phenomenal. You get, they didn't have Brown at receiver, but what they did with Josh Allen, I thought was, I haven't seen anybody do that this year. And I try to watch a lot of games. So they can do it, they can do it. So it might not happen the way we wanted it tonight, but I don't think anybody would sit up and say that Watson is not an elite quarterback in our league.
Oh yeah, they don't know what to talk. I stopped talking to people that the people start saying that. I'm like, yeah, I'm done talking to you, because you clearly don't. Like, again, regardless if they're in their division or not, man, like, you got to respect, people who can bring it, man. And Deshaun Watson can bring it anytime, and that's one thing. He's never out of the game, man. He can make plays with his arm. He can make plays with his feet. So you can't never count him out, and he's so damn tough to take down.
Yes.
Crazy shit, and he's back up. I'm like, how did you do that? So again, you can't take those people lightly. And like you said, it's in the NFL, man. Any team, any given Sunday, they show up. Doesn't matter your record, nothing. You never know.
That's the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, look at the Cleveland Browns. They got spanked though today.
Yeah, man, like, if you don't bring your A game, you know what I'm saying? If you don't bring your A game, anything can happen. And I'm just, and I'm just saying, like, to have the start we had, to have the lull, but to find it in themselves to say, you know what, not today. Like, no. Like, we're going to find a way. Like, we shouldn't be in this position to begin with, but we're here. So what? Let's work. Let's finish this thing up. Like, that's huge, man. That's huge. That's special. That is really special.
Did you have this game? Did you predict that it was going to be close?
Yeah.
As expected?
Yeah. You're playing Houston. It's always like that. It's always like that.
Yep.
It's always like that. I mean, you know like I said, you know each other. You know, top to bottom, from the front office to down to the players, down to the equipment managers. Everybody knows everybody, and so it's like you're playing. You know, it's like you're playing your sibling, and they know all your moves, everything that you do.
Yeah,
And
that sucks, man.
who wants it the most?
Yeah, and you can tell, man. And so before we get into the questions, because I was doing 30 minutes, your take, and 30 minutes, questions, because people have a bunch of questions for you. Steelers versus Titans. How do you see us matching up with the Steelers, and what is your prediction as you see 5-0 team, undefeated? I don't think they're going to put us. There are people who are talking that they're going to put us in prime time. I don't think so. What do you see?
Well, if the news is right and they lost Devin Bush, if Devin Bush is out with an ACL, which first of all, thoughts and prayers go out to him first and foremost, because you don't want anybody to get hurt. But an injury like that to that defense and the position that he plays, I do think that is going to call, on the short term. I do think that the run game is going to be a big component for us. Oh man, defensively, like I don't even know where to start. You got the offensive line, you got Claypool, the rookie that they are now featuring. Juju still there. You got, John. I mean, it's going to be. This is going to be old school. Hit him in the mouth. Who's going to tackle?
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to block? Special teams. Who's going to be good in special team games? I mean, this is going to be a game about not, who's going to have the least self-inflicted wounds as far as penalties, holdings. This is going to be one of those old school games. I mean, it is. It's going to be a game where guys are going to have to be in the cold tub for maybe 2 days straight. So you got Ben Roethlisberger, who's not more of a mobile quarterback, but he is a big quarterback. He's a big quarterback that is going to take a lot to bring him down.
Did you bring him down before in your career?
No, not even close. Not even close. So, the D-line, Big Jeff, and those boys, they're going to have to be on their A game. I mean, they are. You want to move him off the spot. You want to make him feel uncomfortable as much as possible. And then, like I said, this week, we stopped the run game. It's going to come down to that as well. You're going to have to stop Connor, and he is. He's been banged up a little bit, but I think he's fresh. I think he looks as good as he did when he first took over for Le'Veon Bell. So this is a true test. This is a true test. This is a true test. We had pop quizzes and things of that nature, but this is a future Hall of Fame quarterback that is not no ifs, ands, or buts. This is a guy who the Titans, and we know, like, hey, he is the heart of that team, and that defense is playing as good as any defense in the league. The secondary, Micah Fitzpatrick. I mean, he had a pick today.
He did.
Picked off Baker. So, I mean, like, this is a great matchup for our guys. And I think it'd be nice to get Corey Davis back, to get another big body back on the outside. Definitely be nice to have him. The good thing about these two games in this short window span is those guys like Khalif Raymond, a lot of confidence in him. Yep. A lot of confidence in him. Adam Humphries with a touchdown. Oof. Confidence is where you got AJ Brown with another game of having 2 touchdowns. Yeah. That is huge. Want to make sure that Jonnu Smith is healthy. That is going to be very, very huge. That'll dictate, personnel and what we can do in the run game. So, I mean, if you're a Titan fan and we saw and you're watching what I'm watching in the first 5 games and you're seeing a Titans offense that's putting up 30 points a game, I like the matchup. You know, I think that this might be a 27-24 type game.
Okay. I'm going to put it down, man. I'm going to tag you on Twitter if this happens.
24, 27 type game. You know, the field goal kickers are really going to be tested. That's going to be real big because it's going to be a bend don't break mentality. You know, I can see that for both teams. You know, bend don't break and don't give up the big plays. And so this is the reason why we love the game of football. This is the reason why we're Titan fans. You can't ask for anything more but to see the Pittsburgh Steelers 5-0, and we're 5-0. With all the talks about COVID and all of that crap, and everybody want to say, you know, hey, you need a 4-man. Nah, like this is where you line up. The stars have lined up for a once in a lifetime game. And so, you know,
all right.
I'm put 27-24 us. 27-24 us.
I'm gonna write Gerald, I'm writing that down, right? 27-24. There you go, Gerald.
Don't go to Vegas with this, guys.
Promise I won't.
It's going to be a smash mouth football game.
Definitely.
I really think so.
All right, that's good. All right, so we got your prediction. We got your little insight on Titans versus Texans. Now let's get to some of the questions because some of them are pretty interesting. Again, if you guys have questions, he's going to leave at 8, so we'll try to get them as much as possible. All right, first one is Al Pierce says, how would you like to face Henry Stiffarm? How would you like to?
After seeing Josh Norman, I'm like, I'm going low.
There you go.
Yep. I don't want to see that at all. Never, ever.
Sonny says, how would you stop this Titans offense if you had to? So if you were defensive coordinator, your mind, how would you stop the Titans?
That's very tough, and as you can see, it's tough for a lot of people in the NFL. And the reason why is because you have to stop Derrick Henry first,
and then stop Tannehill.
The thing about that is, how are you going to stop Derrick Henry? Because you can't stop him with a 7-man front. Not consistently. You have to give him an 8-man front, and so or 8-man box. And so, with the weapons that the offense has now at wide receiver, tight end, now you see Tannehill play action pass, and it is like you're caught in a catch-22. You're caught in a catch-22. Like what do you do? You know, do you sell out on the run? Do you sell out on the pass? The screen games can hit you hard. You know, you got to make sure, you know. So, I mean, it's tough. Like, I'm just like to understand the way that Arthur Smith is calling the plays. Like, this is freak. It's amazing. Like, it's amazing because the Titans are not one-dimensional. Like in the past, like you look at the Titans, it's like, okay, stop this, then we're good because who are they going to beat us with? You don't have anybody that can beat us deep. You know, you don't have a deep threat. Well, now you got like you got to worry about everybody.
It's crazy
on the field, man. It's complimentary football. And Derek said today, you know, how did he feel? You know, at the end of the game, he was like, you know what, man, the credit goes to the offense, to everybody on the offense, because those guys are. You know, they're doing, you know, they're playing at a high level that only allows me to play at a high level. And I mean, he's right. Like this team is very well balanced in ways that it is scary. It is scary. and you don't have a rookie quarterback at the Rams. So you don't have what are you going to do? You're going to disguise coverages and try to get in his head. Well, he's been playing in the league for a while now. So, you got a vet quarterback that is leading a team with weapons around him that is allowing everybody to be successful. So, I honestly, I would literally, without me watching film, every single tape and every single play, I'm looking at it like I have no idea how we're gonna stop
it. Hey, that's honest. Hey, that's honest as honest as long as you're real, man. I mean, it happens.
Pray that guys get COVID. That's the only thing I can think about. We don't want to wish that on nobody, but unless guys are out, I'm like, man, shoot. Yeah, it's Buffalo. That ain't work either because Cody Hollister had a catch.
Next person we have is, we already talked about this a little bit about the defense needs orders to stop the Steelers and stuff. Give me a second. For
my guy, just the getting back in the building and having a full week of preparation, and getting on the field and repping it live. I think that is the biggest thing for our defense is getting on the practice field and repping the plays, not walkthrough, but live. They need to do it live. We have a lot of some young guys in the secondary. They need live reps. So you can watch film, you can watch tape, and Variable and the rest of the guys, they can get it corrected. So just being back in the building and being under a regular routine, I think that is going to be huge for this defense.
All right. Says, what would be your opinion of Derrick Henry if you were still playing, and how would you stop him? What do you think defensive guys say about him in the meeting room?
Get him before he gets started. I'm trying to hit him in the backfield. I'm talking about I'm trying to get this joker before he crosses the line of scrimmage right now. Right now. And I'm not talking about by myself. I'm talking about, hey, where y'all two at? Y'all two better be over here with me. Like you. Let's go. Come on. Yep. All of us. We're gonna swarm. We're gonna swarm him, man. This guy's special, man. He's special. He is special. That's why I say I want to hear no more talks about Derrick Henry because the guy is playing against loaded boxes. They know he's getting the ball and he's still getting positive yards. That is amazing. You tell me somebody who is 200 yards rushing with almost 64 yards passing, catch out the backfield, taking it down. Man, come on now. Nobody. This guy's, man, he's amazing. He needs MVP.
Real. The craziest part is that they don't even have him as talks of MVP, which is nuts. That's the NFL for you. Okay, let's see who else. All right. Sonny says, what can we do better to be a Super Bowl winning team this year?
So Sonny, this is what I was telling Mr. Titan at the beginning. Like, man, Titan fans, I'm telling you right now, do not look ahead at the season. Don't look ahead. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment. And I'm not saying not saying that, okay, hey man, well, we're not gonna win next week. No, just one game at a time. Just one game at a time. Because that's what the Titans, that's what they're doing. They're not worried about the Super Bowl. They're worried about one game at a time. And if we as fans look ahead so quick and something happens or whatever it may be, and we don't relish in this type of moment, these moments do not, like, golly, man, what, 2008? The last time? Enjoy this moment. What can we do better? I think it's a everyday process. I think it's an everyday process. It's an everyday process. Playing, you come into work with a chip on your shoulder, you can say, you know what? How can I be better today than I was yesterday? guys, man, Vrabel was that guy. He was that type of player. If you watch this team, he has this team playing that same way. Bunch of leaders on that team. Bunch. It ain't just one. It's a bunch of leaders. So, not looking ahead, man. Just enjoy it, and I would say take every game like it's the last game.
Definitely.
I think honestly, that's how we become a better Super Bowl team, because to make that run every game is the game that you play in the postseason, that is everything. So if you continue to take that mindset week to week in the regular season, it's something that is just natural. It's just natural across the board. You just know, like, hey, no matter what, dude, we're gonna ball. And I think they're doing a great job of that, as we seen across the board, is just finding ways. Just find a way. Just find a way. Somebody, anybody, everybody.
All right, we got this one's good because after Taylor Lewan goes down, got Sambillo come in replacing Lewan. Strip sack looked like it was the offensive line protection seemed fine. What do you think? Thoughts on him replacing him? It was a little bit of a rough start. I mean, they took advantage. J.J. Watt was on the other side. The minute Taylor Lewan went down, they said, hell no, we're switching it. We're putting that guy on. And, I mean, that's just smart for the Texans. I mean, they capitalize on an advantage, but that's the game, right? That's how the game goes. I mean,
yeah, that's you don't want to be on that side of momentum, but he's been. Lawan's missed a few snap reps this year. So you look back. We're still 5-0. So he's definitely done his job, and I guarantee you that offensive line, they have confidence. Because I want to say, was the last game before the Minnesota game?
mm-hmm.
Minnesota game, he left.
Yeah, he left.
Yeah, Taylor Warren left, and it was questioned about if he was going to be able to be up for the Bills game. And then in the Bills game Tuesday night, he went down. He went down again.
Yep.
And Smil had to come in. So he can get the job done. He's going against J.J. Watts, who's a 3-time defensive player of the year type guy. Your first reps of the game, golly,
yeah,
that's
rough, man. That's hard. Again, a lot of people gave him. I think he settled down as the game went on, but still, I mean, it's like you said, you're going against JJ. The very first rep, you go in there.
Like we're not like you're not even loose. Like you probably you're not. Yeah, it wasn't a warm day in Nashville today.
Yeah.
So it was. It was a I mean, it just. Man, that's tough. That's tough. And credit to him, man. Credit to him for stepping in and settling down, because I definitely can tell you that line definitely needed him.
Yeah.
Well, here's a good question. I know you're gonna like this because this is your position. Michael says, "What is your opinion on linebackers?" All right, let's hear it. I'm assuming.
I like him. I love Jayon Brown, man. I love him. And Mr. Evans is phenomenal. Like, golly, we say we want, but did y'all see the 3rd and 1?
Yeah.
Like,
that's his thing, man. He loves that. I think he thrives in that, man.
See that hit? Like, we got some guys now. We got some pieces, and that outside position is going to come. It's gonna come. It's gonna come. You got, like I said, man, you got Clowney, you got Beasley, and those guys gotta, they gotta get caught up to speed. They just gotta get caught up to speed. But man, Jayon Brown, Rashid, man, and Evans, those two I think are Pro Bowl type linebackers that I don't think gain a lot of credit than they deserve, other than the Minnesota game with dealing with Dalvin Cook, which a lot of people has had to deal with him in the run game. I think they've been solid, man. I think they've really been solid.
Again, All right. Let's see. All right. This one's actually pretty good right here. I'm gonna go with this one. Do you think we should run more 3 safety sets with Amari Hooker? You said no. You already said you said it before I even finished it. What do you think?
It would depend on who you're playing and their personnel. Because like a game like today, you got Fuller, Cooks, Randall Cobb, Kenny Stills. That's 4. It's 4 wide receivers, like true wide receivers. So, I don't know. Now, if you're playing a team like us that are, we're giving you a lot of 12, 13 personnel, tight end, bigger bodies, then yeah, I can see that. I definitely can see that, especially with the experience that he has, But like a game like today, and that's why, a lot of people, just telling people like, hey, pump brakes just a tad bit, don't get, not so fast. Like they can score points. Houston can score points. I mean, they can score points. Now you gotta think we need to be thanking Bill O'Brien for trading DeAndre Hopkins.
Wait, hold on.
That's
what guy right here.
That's what we need to be doing right now because DeAndre Hopkins wasn't even here today. So, those guys aren't slaps on the other side by far. Now, does it need to get better? Yeah. And a lot of that, I think is just communication. It's just communication. And a lot of that gets fixed when you're in the building and when you're actually practicing like full speed, not walkthrough, so.
All right. Well, here is the last question of the night because it's getting close to that time. Who do you think would win in a race? You meant Jaylen Brown, or you or Jaylen Brown?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I wouldn't, man. Like, golly, I would love to have played with him, man. I just, man, I love his energy, man. I love that kid's energy. I love his energy. He is phenomenal, guys. He is a Titan in and out. I remember when I used to go to the alumni games, back when he was like just getting here, and he was a special team guy, man. He was so high energy, and I was like, man, he reminded me of myself. Like, I'm gonna be watching this kid, and I would be, I'll be telling my friends, I'm like, hey, man, check this out. Y'all need to be watching for this kid. And to see him come along, I'm not surprised that he's having the success that he's having. And Evans, man, like, golly, this is a special team, man. It's a special team. Like, these guys have something to prove. These guys come to work. These guys love the city. They love the fans. And I'm not surprised at the success that we're having right now. No, I'm really not, because the guys in that locker room, they care. They care. They don't care about themselves. They care for the person beside them, and that is special. Like, that is special. So, Titan fans, I'm telling you right now, 5-0. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment. Love your team up. Continue to support them. For those that continue to go to the games. And I'm telling you, I appreciate it, because playing in an NFL game and having the fans there, guys, it's a experience. It's a feeling that you cannot describe. You cannot describe the feeling of playing in a game like this, especially playing against the Texans. So, for those that were able to come out, man, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. This is amazing. But guys, like, hey, don't get ahead. Just got one game. The only game that matters right now is Pittsburgh.
There we go.
Until then, hey, we're going in and everybody's focused on Pittsburgh. And then after that, we'll move on. But this team has what it takes to continue to work. And I think we've seen that. They're not going to settle for, well, Coach Vrabel won't, but I'm pretty sure those guys, they're not going to settle for, hey, we won a game or we're good. Like, no. they want to be better. And,
Yeah,
and so I know that whatever needs to get fixed, the defensive side, yeah, they'll get there. Will it take some time? Yeah, it may take some time. But I definitely know that they'll get to where they need to be. So I'm just excited, man.
There we go. There's Sonny saying thanks for the stream. Love it. Thanks, Gerald, as well. Love his energy. Loved watching him play. Again, like I said, man, you're a fan favorite. We love you. You're involved with the Titan community, and we appreciate that so much. Hollywood Titan says, awesome show. Thank you, man. Tennis Tighten up. Michael said, we appreciate you for coming. Big ups for Mr. Titan for a great content as well. Yeah, man, I appreciate everyone who came. If you guys haven't hit like. If you haven't subscribed,
please, guys, y'all, hey, real quick, you guys support Mr. Titan, support all of our Titan media. Support it. As long, good content, background. You guys have to support our local.
Definitely.
Oh, guys, you guys don't understand. National media will not cover the Titans the way that Mr. Titan or other guys will. Like it just won't happen.
I appreciate that.
Forget them. We'll support ourselves, and that's what I love about this, man. It's the best kept secret. It's the best kept secret, and for Titan fans, it really ain't a secret.
I appreciate that, Gerald. It means a lot to me, especially coming from you. And again, thank you. It's always a pleasure you coming on, man. It's always a pleasure. Now before it was new, but now it's like family, bro. Like you come on whenever you want. And guess what? When I come to Nashville in November, I'm gonna get a call, man. We're gonna get some
bees, baby.
There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's Mr. McGrath right there. Thank you so much, Gerald.
So you got to tighten up, baby.
Tighten up, brother.
5-0.
There it is, 5-0, baby.